Hello, teacher. My name is Evelyn Naranjo, and my partner is Emily Huachichulca. The subject of our presentation is the means of communication. To begin, they must know its definition. What are the means of communication? The means of communication are the exchanging ideas, thoughts, feelings, and other information with other people. Currently, scientists access these media to stay informed of a kinds of events that can be political, social, economic, national, or international, even local. So broad that they range from writing to today's information and communication technologies. In society, these types of channels are used so that people interact and end up sharing common criteria. Through the media and the information that is released from them, users form a general opinion at any given time about the reality that surrounds us.
In the next section, in the will explains about the mass medium. The mass medium. They are called mass medium because they reach a large number of the people at the same time, or they also those channels of the instrument that allow the same message to the transmit so that is the received be to the large number of the people simultaneously. Those that we have of the method of mass communication are internet, radio, watch TV, and the newspaper. To illustrate this, the will begin to indicate the different means of the communication that exist. First, of the will have that the television is. Television is the mass communication medium that will the pass of the time has become a member of the family, participate in the activity in the our home. Because girls and boys like watch televisions and especially cartoons that occupy the first place in their youth preference. Followed by other programs that will occupy a second or third place. This situation leaves us the next to the let's have adults and the critical position before the programs offered by national and local broadcasters and of the reception that they have on the part of the infantile the television audience. A newspaper is the main made of the communication that circulates in the city four times in the implement of the one or the more pages, combining the text and images. It is delivered periodically or the regular, generally daily or also weekly. Bi-weekly or once of the month is the future is the info convey opinions in the entertainment.
As a third example, we have the radio. Radio is a means of communication that is based on sending audio signals over radio waves. Although the term is also used for other forms of remote audio transmission such as internet radio. The radio reaches the radio listening in a personal way. It is the means of greatest reach, since it reaches and social classes. It establishes a more personal contact, because it offers the radio listener a certain degree of participation in the events or news that is being broadcast. Some of its characteristics are: number one, the radio enables the receiver to imagine that it's being transmitted to him, create a mental image. Number two, the information it transmitted is immediate. Internet. The Internet is a globally available computer connection network that serves to share information between people, which, thanks to its storage capacity, allows you to search and obtain different styles of information such as art, engineering, culture, literature, music, medicine, politics, digital networks, among others. It is a fact that the Internet allows us to connect from anywhere in the world and find out that is happening elsewhere. But do you know what the Internet is for as a means of communication? Well, yes, since the Internet is the connection that brings us closer to all sides and is considered a means of communication, a pretty effective one to be exact.
The computer as the means of the communication. One of the great advantages provided via computer connected to the internet is the communication. There are the different ways of the communication and email and chat or electronic email. Is a service that allows you to the send and the receiving chat as what done is the past with traditional mail but a strong electronic communication system. From this you can send not only text but all the keys of the documents in the computer. The conventional telephone is the fixed telephone communication medium, also known as lightning, main line, the home the telephone, and the cable line reference to the telephone that they use the telephone line, the which metal and wire the copper of the fiber optic to the transmit unlike a mobile cellular line, which the use radio waves the for the transmissions.
Telegram. In Telegram, a one-way communication model predominates by professionals and the media. For this reason, the journalists tasked in the messaging platform focus on the distribution of news in a personalized and dynamic way, rather than of taking feedback or response from the public. The presence of Telegram in the journalist's work routine shows a growing role of the application in media activity. According to this study, most journalists claim to use or have used the application for content distribution and information consumption tasks. Following the main objective of the investigation, it is observed that Telegram has managed to postulate itself as one of the platforms preferred by the media. This is due to its usefulness and its technical qualities for the distribution and consumption of content by journalists themselves, but in the reach for new and searchers of information, as well as in its role as an internal communication tool within newsrooms. The following example is the email. The electronic email or email is a means of digital communication in writing, similar to the letters and postcards of the postal email of yesterday, that takes advantage of the multimedia technology of the Internet for the diverse sending of more or less long and equipped or not with adjuncts between two or more different interlocutors. Email was for a long time the standard form communication between Internet users. Even today it occupies a privileged role, especially when it comes to transmitting additional information.
Today, mobile the telephone has become to the very useful the instrument due to the easy communication with the people. Cell phone have the different applications that can facilitate the various daily tasks. The cell phone has become an essential item in the adult life of the increasingly among the children, and is not only a means to the receiver and answer calls. No, smartphones allow us to the multiple activities such as browsing to the internet, interaction on the social networks, shouting, taking pictures, and recording the videos, etc. As the last means of the communication will have the letters. The letter is the means of the communication which be a person, sender and the person who is the far away. It is the functional text, word information, and the designated facility is the purpose that is the generally relate to the solution of the specific problem. The letter helps to the communication or the idioms and the terms, tell the story, give names, express feelings, inform and whatever to the another person.
An example of the use of the means of communication in everyday life is that Anita is one here every day, and to celebrate it, she decides to have the party, and for this, she sends a letter to each of her friends, and they enjoy it together. End.